All right, this video is to help you figure out what you're going to do with your MOLBUX now that we're at the end of the semester. So how your grade is calculated for the semester is that your semester is equal to 40% from your first quarter grade, 40% from your second quarter grade, and the final exam test is worth 20%. So we can turn this into an equation, and this equation works well for like math classes and any other class that has 20% is the weight of the final, okay? Where you would take whatever grade you got for your first quarter times 0.4, your second quarter grade times 0.4, and then your final exam times 0.2. And when you add those all together, that should be what shows up on your report card when they get sent out in January, okay? Now, we have MOLBUX, right? So where can we add MOLBUX? We are able to add MOLBUX to the second quarter grade that's currently in Harmony right now, and the final exam, which you haven't taken yet, but that still can be added. So let's talk about how that happens, okay? First of all, you need to email me with whatever your final decision is for your MOLBUX, because I will not add them. Even if you have them, I will not add them unless you want me to and tell me to. So 3 MOLBUX is equal to 2% on either your quarter grade or on the test grade. So wherever you are, 2% will be 3 MOLBUX. So I only take them in groups of 3. You cannot change the first quarter grade anymore. That was set in stone in October, and we cannot modify that grade anymore. Sometimes students realize they should have added some MOLBUX on the first quarter, but didn't because they were being too conservative, and now they really could have used it. But it was a decision you made back at the time. So you cannot change your first quarter grade. The highest you can take your 9 weeks grade is to a 99%. If you have a 98, I'm sorry, you cannot add any MOLBUX because there's no other scenario besides 3 equals 2% for you to add. So you will not be able to add MOLBUX there, but you're doing pretty good, so I don't think you need MOLBUX there. And then for the final exam, the highest you can raise your test with MOLBUX is to a 105%. So even if you can't raise your quarter grade, you still could raise your final exam grade if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to go through some scenarios just so that you can see what happens and how you can figure things out for yourself. I am not going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself, but this is some examples. So if student A got an 88% in the first quarter, currently has an 83% for the second quarter, what do they need to get on the final to end the semester with a B? Okay, so if we think back to our equation, if the semester grade is equal to the first quarter times 0.4 plus the second quarter times 0.4 plus the test or the final times 0.2, let's plug in what we know. We know that he had an 88% on the first quarter, so I'm going to just plug in 88 right here times 0.4. And we know that he currently has an 83 times 0.4. Okay. And we want to know what they need to get on the final to end with a B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw X in for my test score, because I don't know what we need to get on the final yet. And we're going to put that times 0.2 still. And I'm going to throw for the semester grade, let's say they want like a regular 86B. Okay? So we're going to throw 86% there. So now I'm going to simplify. So we have 86 equals 88 times 0.4 is 35.2 plus 83 times 0.4 is 33.2. And then I don't know what X is, and that is times 0.2. Okay? So now I can add together the 35.2 and the 33.2, and I get that 86 equals 68.4 plus X times 0.2. 0.2. So if I take 86 minus 68.4, I have to write it over here, sorry. So we have 17.6 is equal to x times 0.2. So to get x by itself, I have to divide both sides by 0.2. So divided by 0.2, that means that x is equal to an 88. So that means that student A needs to get an 88% on the final exam so that they can end the semester with an 86% B. Okay? If you have MOLUX though, we can start to play around and change what our grade is. So maybe if they only, at the end, after he takes the test, what if he only got like an 80%? Then we can add MOLUX to get it up to an 88, and then he can end with the grade that he wants. Okay? So let's show how we add MOLUX. Okay. Student B has 8 MOLUX to use. They had a 78% in the first quarter and currently have an 84% in the second quarter. If they get an 88% on the final, where should they put their MOLUX to help? Okay, well, let's just see what their grade will be first before we add the MOLUX. So I don't know what this semester grade is. Oops. It's just like in class. I make mistakes. Okay, so I don't know what their semester grade is. We're going to figure that out. But I know that they had a 78 on the first quarter times 0.4, plus they have 84% currently. And they've already taken their final and they know they got an 88%. So if we add that all together, so 78 times 24 plus 84 times 24 plus, if you are not a parenthesis wizard, make sure that you write down each spot. Okay, so they currently have an 82.4% for the semester grade, which would be a B minus. Maybe they wanted to get it as high as possible. Maybe they don't want a B minus. They would love to have a B plus. What can we do? Okay, well, remember, we can add our MOLUX right here or right here. And he has 8 MOLUX to add. So 8 MOLUX, we cannot use all of them because we can only use in groups of 3. So really he has 6 MOLUX to use, which would equal 4%. That 4% can go on one spot or it can go split up. So let's say that we put all 4% on the second quarter grade. So instead of an 84, that turns into an 88. So let's see what the grade is, which we still have everything else from the equation be the same. Let's see what it turns into. So we got 78 times 0.4 plus 88 times 0.4 plus 88 times 0.2. That's not right. And okay, and he gives up to an 84%, which is a regular B. Okay, what if instead of putting both there, let's just try, because maybe that's the best option, who knows? But let's try and let's put them all on the final. So this time we have our 78 times 0.4 plus, this time we're going back to here because we're taking them off of that grade. So it's going to stay 84 times 0.4. But then this time, they had an 88 on the final, so now we're going to make that 4% higher, which would be a 92 times 0.2. What's the grade going to be? They got an 83.2 which would be a B. So really, the second 9 weeks is the best place to put your MOLBUX, but you can't always put your MOLBUX there. So, because there's caps, right? You can only take it so high. Or sometimes if you look at your 2 grades and you're happy with, like, if you have a B and a B and you're happy with that, then maybe you should just add all your MOLBUX to the test. It all just depends on where you would like them to go. And I will do whatever you like. Okay, so student C, was their last one, has 14 MOLBUX. They would like to end the quarter with an A. If they had a 91% for the first quarter, currently have a 97%, and got a 67% on the final, how do they get that A? Okay, well, let's figure out what they have. So for their semester grade, for the first quarter, they had a 91 times 0.4 plus, now they currently have a 97. That's almost the max, so they will not be able to add too many MOLBUX there, but they could try. And plus 67 times 0.2, what do they have? They get an 88.6%. That would round up to a B plus, an 89 B plus. So they're not there yet. 14 MOLBUX. They can only use in groups of 3. So at maximum, they could use 12 MOLBUX, which would give them a total of 8%. 12 MOLBUX. 8% to play around with. Okay? Well, let's say we put the maximum amount of MOLBUX we can for the second quarter. So we're going to add MOLBUX to make the 97 and 99. So that takes away 2 of our 12 MOLBUX that we're at, or sorry, 3. That's 2%, so that would take us down. Now we have 9 MOLBUX, which would be 6% left. Let's just see with adding those 2 MOLBUX where they got. See if it takes them up to an A minus. Maybe they don't want an A minus though. We'll see. 91 times 0.4 plus 99 times 0.4 plus 67 times 0.2. Oh, it does not get them there yet. So they have an 89.4. They're so close, but that's still a B plus. So now we got to add to the final exam. And the final exam is worth less, so we might have to use a little bit more to get there. Let's just say they want to use all their MOLBUX because they want to get a regular A, not an A minus. So if they have 6% to add, we're going to keep, first quarter stays the same, can't change that. Then the second quarter, we're going to keep the 99, because that did help, it raised it almost a full percent. Then let's add our 6%, our 9 MOLBUX left to our 67. So if we add 6% to 67, that takes it up to 73. I hope I did that right. Yep, okay. So now let's see what we get. 91 times 0.4 plus 99 times 0.4 plus 73 times 0.2. That gets them to a 90.6. Unfortunately, they are not able to get past an A minus, but at least they got the A minus. So that's kind of an A, kind of what they wanted. So that's good. Okay. So how are you going to know what your final exam grade is? We're not physically here in person. So like I said, everybody is getting access to the finals starting at 8:30 on Wednesday. It's your responsibility to get it taken by 4 o'clock on Friday, and 4 o'clock on Friday means they close at 4 o'clock. And so if you don't start it until 3:30, you might not have enough time. You need to budget your time wisely so that you have enough time for the final, okay? I will be grading them as they come in. So I will grade them on, if anybody does it on Wednesday morning, I'll get them graded Wednesday afternoon. If they do it Wednesday afternoon, I'll grade them Thursday morning. So I will email you after I have it graded so that you know what your exam score was. So if you would like to wait to use MOLBUX, you can wait. If you complete the final on Friday afternoon, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be taking a little break for this winter vacation. So you may not get your answer on Friday afternoon. If you get it too late, I'll probably stay at school until 3 o'clock. But if I don't have it submitted before 3 o'clock, you may not get your email. You can tell me however you want to. If you want to tell me in advance how you want to use your Moldux, if you want to tell me, if you want to wait, that's fine. But you have to tell me your Moldux and how you want to use them, okay? What else can you do to raise your grade? What if you only have 2 Moldux? So you can't even use any of them. Well, have you turned in all of your assignments? Anything from chapters 9 and 10 can be submitted through this week, Friday. And that goes all the way back to, I think one of the first assignments we had in chapter 9 was the ionic compounds assignment. So get those turned in. I'm still accepting them, and I'm not taking off points from being late or anything like that. So turn in your late assignments that you haven't done yet. Have you completed all of the chemistry puns? There's 2 puns this week. One, the one that's currently open, will close Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and the second pun will open at Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So there will be a second chemistry pun coming. So you could add 2 Moldux to your count this week. And for the second chemistry pun, I will probably be grading those as they come in so that you know if you got the Moldux or not. And last but not least, have you studied for this final? The study guide answer key is going up today, this morning, so that's important to do. You can also play the Quiz Is games that I have linked on the schedule for this week. And make sure that you have all the handouts. There's some handouts that we haven't used since like October that you might forget about. So make sure you have those handy and review, ask questions if you need to, okay? Good luck on your final. I am here if you have questions. But if you are not communicating with me, I don't know how to help you, okay? So hopefully this video has been helpful.